Sunday recap, week 15 edition. As always, Kevin Buck, Michael Merlo coming to you for BTO Media. A lot of good games on the slate, a lot of stuff to talk about, but we couldn't do last night, so we're doing it today. It gives us optimal time, though, to really cut through everything. We're going to talk about almost every game. I'm sure that a couple that we're not planning on talking about are still going to come up. But first, I want to go Browns, Bears. Chicago gets the win on a freezing cold day at home. 31-3 final. Absolutely dominant, and they're back in a position to try and win the NFC North next week when they play Green Bay. It was a must-have-it win, but they do it even more comfortably than I expected.
Yeah, and I think any conversation about Shedeur Sanders that, I had heard a little bit last week should probably be put to rest, right? About him potentially being the franchise quarterback over there. Understand the situation was not great. Receivers not great. The line didn't play well, but, and the cold, obviously. But like if they have a high enough pick, they have to draft a quarterback. This guy is not the future of the Cleveland Browns. And for the Bears, 100%, they needed to have it. They needed to dominate, and that's exactly what they did. And they look like they're going to be in the postseason, especially with the loss yesterday for the Lions.
The Bears' defense might be the best in the NFL. And I don't think anybody's given them that nod yet. They turn the ball over more than anybody in the league. And the secondary, Kevin Byard's been an absolute godsend for them. Great ad. He's been unbelievable. But this is the defense that, especially in Chicago, you just don't really score any points against them.
Well, you could turn the ball over the way they do and still not be the best defense in the league. The best turnover defense in the league. But I don't know. In terms of dominance, I don't think they're the best defense in the league.
But I think there's an aspect of that where you got to put them in the conversation.
That's fine. We can put them in the conversation.
Because the games that they've lost, I feel like, are on their offense. Totally. When has somebody walked in and just dropped 45 on Chicago?
Week 2 or 3?
Well, that was at home, on the road.
Okay.
I'm saying, in Chicago, nobody scores any points.
Okay. Trying to think.
Because even Dallas went in there with one of the best offenses in the league and just got killed.
Yeah, that was a game the Bears had to have.
But
interesting.
Bears D. Bears D at home. The point that I didn't make that I'm making is if they get home field advantage in the playoffs in any capacity, they're going to be really hard to beat.
Okay.
Because they just don't give up points in Chicago.
So your point is Bears at home.
Bears at home. But they really don't even give up that many points on the road besides the one outlier game, too, with Detroit, where they gave up more points than anyone's allowed this season.
Yeah. Well, they have the division lead right now. They have the division lead,
and they get a chance to win it next week. I mean, you're playing for the division next week completely.
Yes, that's going to be a fun game. That's going to be a real fun game. That is in Chicago.
So they've turned the ball over. Defense alone has turned it over 30 times this year. The offense has turned it over 10. So they're plus 20 in turnover differential. Houston's second at plus 14. And then everyone's pretty close. Jacksonville plus 10. There's 5 teams plus 9. Jets are minus 17.
Jets are minus 17.
Yeah. Vikings are close, minus 13.
Do the Jets the Jets don't have an interception this year?
They don't have an interception. They just fired their defensive coordinator because they don't have an interception.
I saw that.
They have 3 fumbles taken away.
Okay.
They have 20 giveaways.
Mm-hmm.
Minus 17.
Quick math there, yeah. I was able to do that.
But yeah, big win for the Bears. Had to have it at home.
Yep.
And they just continue. I mean, did you see the throw Caleb made?
Yes. I know exactly what you're talking about.
DJ Moore in the back of the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these are the games. This is a really good Browns defense. These are the games where you watch Caleb and you say, this is a star in the making. That's what I see this year.
He needed to have it after that game last week. After the ending of that game last week, he had to have this.
You could tell me, the Browns are 3-11, whatever. Their defense is top 5 defense in the league. It's been awesome all year long, and it was negative temperature, and Caleb goes out and he has a nice game. 17 for 28, 242, 2 touchdowns, and the offense continues to run the hell out of the ball.
This should have been like a 16-10 win for the Bears, and it wasn't.
Yep. I mean, Shedeur had one really tough drop by Judy. I don't know if you saw this.
I did not.
But Judy sucks. That's where my Shedeur love comes in, and I become Josina Anderson when I watch Judy play.
Okay.
This guy's a joke, Judy. All right, anyways, whatever. Let's get on Browns Bears. Ravens Bengals, stunned at this result. Thought this was a close game all the way in Cincinnati. Burrow, I don't know if is Burrow washed? Like, is it over after the press conference last week that he doesn't love playing football? He has this awful game against Baltimore, and Ravens just stuck it to him.
Yeah, I got some stuff to say on Burrow, so I'll save that for the overreaction. We'll look at the Ravens here. Didn't have to do much yesterday. Lamar Jackson threw the ball 12 times, 150 yards, but he was efficient. And Henry ran for 9 yards a carry. And this was an easy win. Couple of turnovers there for Burrow. This was ugly. This is kind of the worst case scenario when you're looking at everything that could possibly go wrong for the Cincinnati Bengals. And there are going to have to be really tough decisions made, I think, this offseason. And I'll save that for the overreaction.
Is the Kyle Van Noy handoff on the interception that leads to a touchdown one of the best veteran defensive plays we've ever seen in terms of just savvy stuff?
I was laughing hysterically when I watched it live. I was like, what is going on? That is unbelievable. Yeah, that was great. That was unbelievable. Who did he hand it off to again? Was it Gilliman?
Gilman. Yeah. Who I think is a rookie or first-year starter. He might have been a practice squad guy before this. Thinking undrafted. Whatever. I'm looking right now just because I want to make sure. He's Notre Dame, was round 6 pick. Okay, he's 5 years in the league. Round 6 pick from the Chargers. But anyways, Van Noy just realizes, like, I'm not doing anything with this.
Yeah.
So he just gets rid of it. And he's like, give it to the fast young guy, and he's going to crib it. And Van Noy goes out, tries to make a block. Great play.
It was a sick handoff, too. It was like just so nonchalant. It was like so nonchalant. Like, he's behind me. Hand off. He's probably screaming at him, and he can probably hear him. Nothing's going on in that stadium. He's probably like, take it.
I feel like normally when a defensive player tries to do that too, it just chaos ensues. Like they try to go for the pitch, and it's a bad pitch, and you just got to kind of kill the play to keep the ball. And Van Noy, veteran Belichick guy, Belichick tree, savvy play, Steve Belichick tree, and he comes out and just gets it done. Good job. We'll talk more Bengals later on. Lamar still looks hurt, though, in this game, too.
I may have had a dream about Steve Belichick last night.
I'm not even going down this road. Texans, Cardinals. Texans double up the Cardinals, beat them 40-20. Cardinals are dead. Gannon's got to get fired here. I'm going to start on the negative side of it. Gannon's got to get fired because they have given up on this completely. CJ Stroud hangs 40 on you in 2025. Their offense has struggled all year. They might have got right with this game. They've been getting better the last few weeks, don't get me wrong. But another great win for Houston. Arizona has, if you look at Arizona's season, the best quarterback play they've gotten has come with Jacoby Brissett.
Mm-hmm.
They're 2-3, I believe, with Kyler Murray, and 1-8 now with Jacoby Brissett. This is year 3 of Gannon. It's not getting any better. It's getting worse. And they might be the worst team in the NFL right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate if they fired him. I just don't really know who's going to want that job. It's not a very attractive job whatsoever. Like, what are you going there to take that job for? You're going to have a mess with Kyler Murray that you have to either try and trade, which nobody's going to trade for him. And you're probably going to cut him. You're going to eat a ton of money for a year or two. Like who's going to want that job? That's the one question I would ask. Can you do better than Gannon on this market?
I think you can, just because I think Gannon's awful. And I think that if there's the benefit that the Cardinals might have is there might only be 3 job openings. If Cleveland doesn't fire Stefanski, it's going to be Giants, Titans, Cardinals. Cardinals have the second most interesting job there. I would not take the Titans job with the amount of turnover they've had the last few years.
I would take if I believe in Cam, at least I don't have a crappy quarterback situation.
I'm still probably getting fired in 2 years in Tennessee. I think I get 3 or 4 in Arizona at least. Geographically, you can sell a lot of people on Arizona.
You can sell people on Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah, but Arizona's like one of those spots.
It is, but Tennessee's a big spot too.
It is. I'm not taking a Titans job, bro. Titans job sucks.
I'm not saying it's a great job.
They fire their coach every year.
It's better than Arizona's job.
If I'm looking at the Tennessee job, I'm saying, okay, they just fired Mike Vrabel and they've already fired a coach since they fired Mike Vrabel. What do I have to do? I have to win a Super Bowl to get a second contract. I'm not going there.
I'm not going to Arizona either.
I'm not going to the Giants either.
I'd want the Giant job. The Giant job is easily the
Why?
most
So you could
attractive
draft
job.
Mendoza?
Please, I can't believe this.
You did it to yourself.
I'm getting like death threats at times.
All right, last crappy game, and then we got a run of a few good games here. Jets, Jaguars. I just wanted to touch on the Jags for a little bit about how
About the Jets.
I don't need to talk about the Jets at all. The Jags, I mean, Liam Cohen, this team is so well coached. And Lawrence finally had a big day yesterday. Finally looked like he's turning a corner. And he's had a really nice last few weeks. Since their bye week, he's actually been great. But the visuals of yesterday's game, he was stunning. He just absolutely dominated. And now, I'm finding myself back on the Jaguars train. I'm just pulling up this stat quick. Trevor Lawrence, since their bye week, 6-1 record, over 1,700 total yards, 18 touchdowns in their last 7 games. He's just been awesome. He's protecting the football. This is a dangerous team right now.
You're on the Jags. You're back.
I'm back. I'm back on the Jags. I hate it. I'm back on the Jags.
Lawrence, great yesterday. You haven't been fantasy at all or no? That's a question for you.
No, I had Burrow and everything yesterday. So
awesome. So you're done. So
I had Burrow and Darnold yesterday.
Awesome. No touch.
Bench option Dak Prescott, who got 9'd. So didn't even matter.
So with Lawrence here, I still think the Texans are the better team. I still think the Texans are the better team.
That's fair.
But impressive for even the Jags, to beat up on any NFL team, let alone the Jets and Brady Cook. It was impressive to see that yesterday. But I still think the Texans are a little bit better, but give Liam Cohen credit because especially with the way this season started, with a couple of those games that they played there, the fact that he has this looking the way it does now is impressive in his first year.
It is. They're so well coached. And a lot of the same vibes early in the season, too, as the Bears, where I'm saying, the defense is overplaying their expectation, and they're winning in spite of the quarterback. This young first overall pick quarterback that had so much hype, they're winning in spite of them. Now you start to see it coming around a little bit where these offensive coaches might be getting these guys right.
And look at the weapons that he's dealing with. These aren't great weapons for Lawrence over here. And the other thing, this is what I really wanted to say, but I had forgotten this when I said the weapons thing. Look at the way the Buccaneers look right now without Liam Cohen. That should tell you a lot. They let go of Canales. He gets the Carolina job. Cohen steps right in, and it was like they didn't miss a beat. Now, I don't even know who the offensive coordinator is over there. They stink, can't do anything offensively, and they're figuring it out here in Jacksonville.
You don't know Josh Guzzard?
No. Guzzard. Wow, what a name.
Chargers, Chiefs, end of the dynasty. Chiefs get eliminated from the playoffs. They're 6-8. Mahomes tears his ACL. Could this game have gone any worse for Kansas City? No. Chris Jones had no idea it was even an elimination game. He goes in after saying, we got a fighter's chance. Reporter says, no, you don't. He's just like, oh, damn, we're out of it. This is a weird spot for our generation of fans, I think, or any generation of fans, really, because we've become so accustomed to the automatic playoff bids for the best quarterbacks and best teams, and the Chiefs stay relatively healthy, and they finish 6-8. Maybe they win this game with Mahomes. Probably not. Think they were trending to lose it anyways. He gets hurt while they're trailing late. And in an era of Brady, Manning, and now Mahomes and Allen, this is the first year since 1998 that one of those guys, one of those three aren't in the playoffs, Manning, Brady, or Mahomes. So uncharted waters for our generation. And the AFC has got to be not celebrating the injury, but celebrating that the Chiefs aren't in this.
Celebrating. One team is certainly celebrating the fact that the Chiefs are not in it 100%. They were not going to win this game with Mahomes. It was trending that way. They couldn't move the ball. The running game stinks. And Mahomes wasn't even playing well today. So yesterday. So they weren't going to win this game with Mahomes. It sucks to see. It's sad to see the injury. A couple of big injuries yesterday, but this was going this way for a little while now, Kevin. They really have not been playing good football defensively. They weren't great. You know, they didn't have a running game. The weapons never came alive. We've been talking about it. We know what they need to do. Like, we know they need changes, but what specific changes do they need? Like, how many wide receivers do they need to replace? You know, they're going to need a tight end, right? What are they going to do this offseason to, like, put them back in the conversation of being that true Super Bowl team?
I don't know. It's weird. And can you tell me how long an ACL recovery is?
He should be back for the.
So I know.
He's back.
I see some people. I think he's probably back week 1.
Yeah, he'll be back week 1
because everybody like is saying, "Oh my God, he's going to miss time next year," and Micah Parsons is going to miss time next year, and Daniel Jones. Are they?
Well, I had read that Jones with the Achilles is going to be ready for week 1. So
now the Achilles injury is like a year ago it was 10 to 12 months or like 12 to 14 months.
Yeah.
Now the Achilles is like 7 to 9.
Yeah. ACL, he's got to be back by the start of the year, I would assume.
Well, it's 9 months away. So yeah
9 months. He'll be good.
A little over 9 months. Is
Reed done? You think Reed is gonna retire, or no? He needs one more year here.
It's tough. I almost think Reed's done. Kelsey stays one more.
Kelsey's got to go. And if I was,
I don't think Kelsey's going to go out on these terms.
If I was a GM, I'd tell Kelsey retire or I'm cutting you.
Well, he's a free agent, but I think
retire,
that you can.
I'm not bringing you back.
You wouldn't bring Kelsey back on like a $3 million for the year if he says I want one more year. I would totally.
I know he hasn't been that bad this year, but there are moments, big moments where he didn't come up big, and he may just be too big of a distraction. You know, right. And he's going on new heights. By the way, I can't stand the fact that he's not speaking to the media after the game, but you know, he'll go on this diatribe where he drops an F-bomb every 5 words on new heights about the game on Wednesdays. I don't like that.
Yeah, that's fair. He should be showing face after the game. So first ballot Hall of Fame guy who just won 3 Super Bowls. So I agree with you there.
And talk to the media there.
Yeah, and obviously I'm fine with him doing that on new heights, but first let's maybe step out in front of the room.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Fair. Anything else on this game, Chargers-wise? Chargers look good. I'd like to come out here and say, like, we're sleeping on the Chargers in the AFC playoff picture, but I don't see him going on the road to these top seeds and winning. That's the problem.
No.
I can't see him winning outside in January against New England, Buffalo, Denver, obviously. I just don't think that's... There's a path for them if they get the 5 seed. If they get the 5 seed, Buffalo beats Jacksonville in the first round.
Okay.
So you now have a 5 and a 6. There's a real scenario. I'm spoiling overreactions this whole segment too, so I might only have like 2 at the end. But there's a scenario where the Chargers, Bills, and Texans, the 5, 6, and 7 seeds, all win their first round matchups, knocking out New England, Jacksonville, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that wouldn't shock me.
Because it's Houston at New England. If they win that game 17-14 or 17-13, I'm not shocked.
That's a 2-touchdown game.
Buffalo is at Jacksonville. That's a win.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
And then Chargers are at Pittsburgh. Steelers stink. Or at Baltimore. Both teams stink.
Yeah, that's a win for Jacksonville.
So Denver might be coming out of the bye going into round 2 where the 2, 3, and 4 seeds are all eliminated.
But I think that would be worse for them, though.
Yeah, if I'm Denver, I don't care about the New England-Houston matchup. I think they're a pain in the ass either way.
Yeah. But
I want Jacksonville winning, and I want Pittsburgh winning.
Yeah, that's not. Those two are not going to happen. And it makes sense. It's a good point. The one thing I'll say about the Chargers, again, with the injuries that they've dealt with all season long, the fact that they're 10-4 right now and basically a lock to make the postseason, you got to give Harbaugh all the credit in the world for what he's done. Herbert, same thing. Herbert playing banged up, tough guy. It's impressive that they're able to win these games and be this competitive with how bad the injuries have been.
Yeah, absolutely. Good win for the Chargers. Harbaugh roars on. Next game, another good one. Lions-Rams, and then we'll get to the Packers-Broncos game. Lions-Rams lives up to it. Most of the game's a shootout, and another great matchup in the post-Goff-Stafford trade era between these two teams. Rams clinch playoffs, first team to do so. Your thoughts?
Yeah, Rams are just the best team in football, and it's not close. And the one thing I have to say about the Rams is, they get into like 3rd and 12s, 4th and 8s, right? And I'm sitting there watching them, and I may or may not had a little scratch on them yesterday, but either way, I'm sitting there watching them in these games, and I have all the confidence in the world that they're going to convert these 3rd and longs, convert these 3rd and mediums, 4th and mediums, excuse me, because that's just how good they've been all season long. I just trust them to make every big play. Stafford, Puka, everybody, the tight end, what was it? Parkinson getting involved yesterday. So they are incredible offensively. Defensively, they weren't great yesterday, especially early, but made the plays in the second half to keep them away and get the win. They're so fun to watch. They're the most fun team to watch in the league.
They are. And Devontae gets hurt. I think Devontae's probably done for the regular season.
There's no need to play
hamstring. Yeah, he was obviously playing hurt. McVay alluded to it after the game. They knew it was a re-aggravation. Just rest him now. Kills me in fantasy. I might have to message McVay and Devontae and be like, yo, need you to suit it up at the goal line at least. But big injury for them. But they're going to win this division. They should win this division. That's the funny thing about the Rams. They're the best team in the league in week 15, but they don't have
the division comes down to this week.
They don't have division security. You play Seattle on Thursday, who has the same record, and you're in Seattle.
That's going to be an incredible game. I can't wait for Thursday.
NFL got us right with Thursday. You see the Christmas Day schedule?
I know it's not that great, right?
No, it's terrible.
What is it? The
Pulling
Vikings
right
and the
Cowboys, Commanders at 1. Lions, Vikings at 4:30. Broncos and Gardner Minshew Chiefs at 8:15. It's a bad week.
Oh, we don't have to watch football on Christmas. We're good.
No, and you know what? I'm really curious about the ratings. And let me finish this thought to get to what I want to do. But NBA slate is just unreal on Christmas. Like, you have all of your title contenders playing each other. They did a perfect job with it. Nobody's going to watch it.
No,
the NFL is still going to dominate the Christmas Day.
All right,
ratings.
I thought you were going to go in a crazy direction there, where you thought the NBA was going to beat the NFL.
No, that's why I said let me finish, because the NBA has this. Christmas Day is historically the NBA's day. We know that. They have this slate of games. It's like Spurs, Thunder, Knicks, Cavs, Warriors play a top 5 team. It's like really, it's an unbelievable slate. Lakers play. It might be Lakers, Warriors. I have no idea. But I was looking at it yesterday. They're not going to get any good ratings.
No.
They'll get good ratings on the Knicks-Cavs game because it's before any of the other games. They'll get good early ratings on that.
Well, it's also like it's the Knicks.
Yeah. I'll be watching a ton of basketball. Yeah, you have Cavs, Knicks at 12, Spurs, Thunder at 2:30, which is if anyone watched the game last night, it's 47 minutes of heaven and then 1 minute of intentional fouls. Mavericks, Warriors sucks. That game sucks. That was wrong. Rockets, Lakers is awesome at 8, and who's watching Rockets, Lakers, and Timberwolves, Nuggets at 8 and 10:30? It's over.
Yeah,
you're not getting any East Coast viewership on that. If you're sitting down to casually watch something on the East Coast, you're watching that terrible Chiefs Broncos game,
or because I have money on the basketball game. One of the two.
I'd hope you don't.
There's a chance
on 10:30 T-Wolves Nugs.
There's a chance. There's certainly a chance.
There's always a chance.
There's always a chance.
There's always a chance. All right. Next game we got to hit here is Broncos and Packers. I have one on each team in overreactions. I just kind of rewrote my overreactions here.
Yeah.
But I have one on. No, I don't have one on each team. I lied. I have one on Denver, but we can still talk about them. Packers season felt like it ended yesterday, which sucks because I really was enjoying watching them the last few weeks. But the amount of injuries they have, Micah Parsons, obviously the big one. LaFleur was like a dead man in the post-game press conference. I don't know if you saw it, but
I did see it. Yeah.
He was like just a corpse.
He was crushed. Obviously, they should be crushed. The interception, they're up 9, Kevin. He throws an interception with like 9 minutes left in the third quarter, and that completely changed the game. It completely flipped the game, and it makes you think, why are you taking that shot in that spot? You can't turn the ball over. You have the control of the game. You're up 2 possessions, and they just basically, even before Micah gets hurt, they basically hand the game to Denver.
Yeah.
They basically just gave them all of the momentum in the world and handed the game to the Broncos. And that's what pissed me off, because it felt like they were in control and just completely handed it to the Broncos in that second half.
How about Bo Nix in this game? A little bit of an odd one if you watched it. I think the stat line's a beauty. 302, 4 touchdowns. I thought that maybe all 11 of his incompletions could have been picked, which was, I mean, Xavier McKinney dropped 2 or 3. Just felt like he threw into a lot of trouble, but I can't blame him for any of that because they didn't get picked. Bo Nix was awesome. And Bo Nix is able to do this and rise up to the competition in these games against the Green Bay defense that, got banged up, but at home at Denver, you had a good defense coming in, and he just looked great. If he can do this, who's beating Denver?
No, I don't know. I expected Green Bay to come in here and get a win. So, I'm impressed with what the Broncos are able to do. It's basically every week. I think the Broncos are going to take a stinker, have a stinker here. They win. They win and they beat good teams. So very impressed with the Broncos. If you're going to pick a favorite in the AFC, it has to be them, right? Like if you don't love any other team and you just need to give me a team, it's Denver. That's how good they've been. That's how good this defense is. And Bo, late in these games, he's great. So they're impressive as all hell, man. And Bo, he just wins. He just wins football games. That's it.
Next week, they play Jacksonville. Very interesting game in the AFC landscape. Sunday, 4:05 at Denver. Jags play the Broncos. They play the Chargers in Week 18. And they play the Chiefs with Minshew on Christmas once again, as we mentioned. But big win for the Bronc. Just maybe the worst loss of the year for the Packers of any team in the league this year.
Yeah, well, considering everything that happened, sure.
Yeah, literally in the game, not the worst loss. If you told them that score before going into the game, you'd say, all right, lost by a touchdown to a complete Super Bowl contender at Denver, top 3 hardest place to play, if not the hardest. And you wouldn't be too upset. Then you flash forward and LaFleur's basically crying in the postgame because every good player he has just got eliminated for the season.
It feels aggressive.
It was aggressive, yeah. All right, next game. We have Seahawks and Colts, Phillip Rivers game. This was awesome. This was the most electric 18-16 game ever. 1 touchdown scored all around. But Big Phil threw it, and I couldn't be more happy for him.
I'm happy for him. Can we talk about something, though?
You can. I'm not. You can, though.
He looks so out of shape. It looks uncomfortable watching him try to throw the football. But he did it. He put it in the right spots at times. I'd give him that. But it looked so uncomfortable so many times for him to push the ball downfield. I almost felt bad for him.
Why did he play in this game?
I don't know.
Is because I'm watching him, and this is me. Like I loved what I saw yesterday. I thought Rivers just, in my mind, I thought he carved up the Seahawks. Just carved them up. But then I got to do the real talk about the game.
Yeah, let's real talk.
Is he worse than Brett Rippon? Like, he's got to be. I've seen Brett Rippon play, and I feel like if you call the game for Brett Rippon the way they called it for Rivers yesterday, you don't get a worse result.
No, I think he's probably a little better. I've seen.
Okay.
He is better than a lot of other options, unfortunately. Like, that's just the nature of the backup quarterback position right now. But as somebody that knows the offense that well, I think it does make some sort of sense.
That's true.
But it was bad at times. I was like,
first throw,
guys playing football.
First throw goes terrible. Up, and you're like, yikes!
Like, it looks like he's like pushing it. Like, it's not even like a throw. It's like
yeah. And he's always looked like that to some extent.
Yes, but it looks just
totally
so
exaggerated
worse
now. And that fall at midfield.
Yeah. And the feet moving, like, did you see like when he's dropping back, like how, like, his feet always used to move sort of fast because he couldn't move.
Yeah.
But like yesterday, they were going.
And I'm wondering if he gets better throughout the season, because we have to put it in context too. You know what? Put it this way: really impressive that on 3 days at 44 years old, he was able
Yeah.
to do what he did yesterday. I mean, really impressive just at the least. But will he get better over their last 3 games of the season? It doesn't get any easier. They play the hardest defenses in the league to wrap up the year. They kind of have to win out to get into the playoffs. They kind of have to win. They got to win at least 2 of their last 3. But you almost have to win all 3 in this AFC right now, where the Texans, Bills, and Chargers occupy the wild cards.
If they get eliminated in the next week or 2, right? I don't know how exactly it'll work out. But let's just say it's 2 weeks from now, and there's a game or 2 left. Does he play that last game or no?
I
Does
don't know.
Steichen just say, "All right, we're going back to Riley Leonard"?
Yeah, if Riley Leonard's healthy, he probably plays. Because the biggest problem the Colts are going to have, and this is maybe with Leonard too, but at least Leonard gives you the athletic ability. Rivers is not going to stretch the field at all. So he's not throwing the ball past 20 yards effectively. Why would Houston or San Francisco actually play anybody behind the first down marker?
Yeah.
They're putting 11 guys within 8 yards of the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Every play. What's Jonathan Taylor going to do? Nothing. So you got to keep relying on this screen game and this quick pass game that is just draining.
So you really didn't like what you saw yesterday? I mean,
I don't like the impact of. I think there's 2 stories with Phillip Rivers. There's the actual game story, which was okay. Obviously, they're not going to move the ball at all with him. And then there's the fact that he was able to come back and do this is. And honestly, I think a really great triumph in a borderline Hall of Fame career.
Do you think he's a Hall of Famer?
No, but I think he's as close as you get outside of it.
I think he is a Hall of Famer because I think he's just too close. And this could have swayed a lot of people, I think, if this was great. If this was, oh my God, what is happening? This could have swayed those last few to get him in.
It might. I mean, he's really the
other way.
He's really the only guy in that top 10 statistically of touchdowns and passing yards. I think him and Matt Ryan are both in it that aren't going to get into the Hall of Fame. Stafford's going to get in. Eli's going to get in.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. He's got 2 rings.
You
just hate Giants quarterbacks, but he's going to get in.
No, I'm saying I want him to get in. I'm just saying he's not going to get in.
You're upset they didn't replace him with Mendoza.
No, I'm saying that I don't think they are going to put my guy Eli Manning in the Hall of Fame, and it's wrong. But I don't think they're going to do it. I don't think they're going to do it.
Yeah, the top 10 all-time passing leaders. Rivers is 7. Matt Ryan's 9. Roethlisberger's going to get in.
I think
Eli's 11. So
I think Ryan's Hall of Famer too. By the way,
no.
You have a high bar.
It's the Hall of Fame. It's not the Hall of every quarterback that had stats.
Joe Namath's in the Hall of Fame.
Joe Namath, when he retired, was the best quarterback to ever play. People like to forget that. He was the first guy to ever run the shotgun.
I agree with you. I was joking.
I had to hear this all night last night at work. This was the whole conversation.
I argued for Joe Namath
in the Hall of Fame.
I argued for Joe Namath on the air. Okay,
it has nothing to do, and it has nothing to do with his modeling career. It has to do with he's not a top 50 quarterback ever, but when he played, he was the best.
Yes,
and that's it. Great. Why is that so hard for people?
Because people don't know football the way we do.
That's going to lead me into my next point about this game that I really wanted to make, and I saw it on Twitter, and I'm running with it. Watching Phillip Rivers come back in and just didn't take any sacks, operated quickly, I felt like we grew up in the best era of quarterbacks ever, which is another part of this Hall of Fame conversation with Matt Ryan and Eli and Rivers. And now the quarterback play in the league, I am so much less impressed. I think it's so unimpressive compared to what we had 15 years ago. And I don't want to diminish the guys now. It's more about doing the opposite. The guys then were great. Unbelievable quarterbacks that we had in the early 2000s, early 2010s.
Just the top half, the Allens and the Mahomes and Jacksons. You don't see that. You don't see that every day.
No, you don't. But I still think there's aspects of Mahomes' game that Brady was so much better at, that Manning was so much better at, that Roethlisberger was so much better at. And I think it was much tougher to play the position when they were playing too. I'm not saying they're better than Mahomes and Allen. I'm not even trying to compare them at all. But
can you say that about Allen right now, about with anybody?
Allen, I think Allen's, I've said it a million times, I think he's the best athlete to ever play quarterback. I think that out of those guys, I would take him after Brady, Manning. Then I get into a little gray with Prime Rodgers. But I'd take him after Brady, Manning. I put him on like a Roethlisberger level. I think Roethlisberger in his prime was unreal.
I think he's better than Roethlisberger, though.
And I think Roethlisberger did a lot of stuff that Allen doesn't do as well. Obviously, Allen doesn't run, but neither of them took sacks.
Right.
Either way, good to see Big Phil Rivers back out there. Let's jump to our next game here with Saints-Panthers. Talk about quarterback golden era. Saints-Panthers, but yeah.
Ask you a question quick. We skipped Bills Patriots, which is fine because they're both in my overreaction. So
yeah, I was gonna get to them next, but yeah.
All right.
Then we'll just go right into overreactions with them because I don't need to talk about Giants.
How about your boy
Tyler SHUGH?
How about your boy Tyler SHUGH? This was the easiest. Panthers dropped the game. They absolutely need it. It was a sharp play. I had mentioned it to you, I think, Saturday. I like the Saints here to win the game outright, not just with the 2.5. This was just an obvious game that, we know how the Panthers have been all year long. They're very inconsistent, and when they needed a game finally to get themselves into serious conversation about the division, to take over the lead, they lose it.
Tyler SHUGH is great. Watching this guy play is an event, Mike.
Okay. Now we're getting crazy.
It's an event. Two guys in the league are leading the team in passing and rushing on a consistent basis. Tyler SHUGH and Josh Allen.
But like, okay.
They're calling him Vanilla Vic in New Orleans. They're calling him Vanilla Vic. 8 for 32 on the ground yesterday. Unreal.
This is the future.
That's why when I'm talking about this quarterback golden era, we're going to look back 30 years from now, and we're going to say there was that great Brady Manning run with Rodgers, and Favre was in there, Roethlisberger, Manning, Eli. And then there was that lull with Mahomes and Lamar and Allen. And then there was the SHUGH Mendoza era that just blew us away.
Well,
even though SHUGH's almost the same age as PHILLIP Rivers, he's the guy. He's absolutely the guy. The Saints have to do every single thing in their power to build a team around Tyler SHUGH.
You got to call him. You got to make sure this happens. You got to call, what's his face? You got to call Archie Manning. You make sure that they get the message here. I
think you meant the Arch Jr.
No.
Grandson Arch. I was like,
the grandfather. Come on. Learn the Manning family tree.
The Godfather.
Please. Yeah, can you learn the Manning family tree? Thank you.
Sorry, I only compare them to the Boone.
Yeah, which is unbelievable. It's unbelievably disrespectful to the greatest football family of all time. Either way, what was I going to say? SHUGH. What about it? Oh, Kellen Moore. Good for Kellen Moore. Building a culture here, building something like possibly legit with the quarterback. Like maybe this is, a thing here, like legitimately. So the fact that Kellen Moore is doing a good job, calling plays, building a culture, building an offensive system here with not the greatest weapons in the world and not the greatest offensive line in the world. It's certainly impressive for Kellen Moore in his first year here in New Orleans.
Kellen Moore is maybe an elite QB whisperer. Prescott's best career years were with Moore. Jalen Hurts last year looked like a totally different quarterback than he does now, largely because he had Kellen Moore, wins a Super Bowl MVP. Herbert had a great year with Kellen Moore also. And now even Spencer Rattler looked competent with him. He didn't look like you watch the Jets game, any of them this year. He didn't look like that.
Yeah.
You see what he does for Rattler and SHUGH, and now I feel like he might have a guy here that he can really build something with.
So you're saying like what we thought about Dable in terms of quarterback whisper, it's actually Kellen Moore.
Well, what you thought about Dable.
We, as a collective NFL group.
No.
Yes.
We would include me also.
And you weren't there. You were there.
No, Daniel Jones threw 15 touchdowns in a year they won a playoff game. SHUTOUT is going to do that in half a season with who's the receivers? Chris Olave and Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks was on this team.
Who were the Giant receivers? Dude, he's had 6 passing touchdowns. Let's chill out.
Giants had Hodgins, bro.
6 passing touchdowns. Let's chill out.
Yeah, but he's going to obviously get 9 more. 3 games left.
Good for Shuck.
He's the guy. And again, a lot of really smart people at the draft were like, this is the kid. This is the one that you have to watch for. And someone's going to get a steal. And he should be a first-round pick.
Well, they were wrong, so.
They were right. Obviously, we're right.
The guy to get start 28.
Bills, Pats. What do you got?
I woke up. Worked late. Woke up. 21-0 Pats. Money on the Bills. It's like, what the hell is going on? Like, what is going on? And the Bills, how about that comeback? How about that comeback? I got a lot to say in my overreactions about both of these teams, one for each, but I'll leave it at this. Josh Allen is the best quarterback I've ever watched my own 2 eyes. He's the best quarterback ever. I mean, you say most talented quarterback you've ever seen, that's fine. He's the best I've ever seen in terms of just on a football field each Sunday. No legacy, nothing. Just watching that guy on a weekly basis, there's nothing better. There's nothing better than watching that guy play football. He's that good.
I'm convinced I'm the only guy that watched Brady. I'm convinced that I'm the only person that watched Tom Brady for 20 years. I hear this all the time now. Mahomes was better, more talented. Josh Allen now. Whatever. Not going down this road right now.
No, let's go down this road. I mean, Josh Allen does more on a football field than Tom Brady does. I mean,
I don't know if that's totally true.
Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time. I have all the respect in the world for him. I know what he did. I know how great he was. Josh Allen does more on the football field than Tom Brady did.
I don't even know if that's true.
How?
Because you look at Allen and you say, okay, he runs. Brady didn't run. Huge check mark. He's not nearly as good of a passer. No one in the league right now is nearly as good at passing as Tom Brady. At throwing the football. Do you think Allen operates the huddle and the line of scrimmage as good as Tom Brady? No. I can't quantify it, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say no one ever has. And he wasn't working with these insane weapons all the time either. Had the great tight ends, had Randy Moss in 2007, but guy won 3 Super Bowls with Edelman, Amendola, Chris Hogan, Brandon LaFell.
What kind of coaching is Josh Allen dealing with, though? You're like that.
I don't think awful coaching, though.
I don't think it's even close to what Brady had.
And I agree with that. I'm not gonna knock points off either of them, though, for their coaching in any aspect. Like, I'm not gonna take. I don't blame Allen's playoff losses on him. We both agree with that.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna give Brady all the credit in the world or take credit away from him because of Belichick. If I was starting a team right now, it's no doubt I'd rather have Brady.
Interesting. Okay.
And he leads the NFL in every major category all time.
I don't think I disagree with that either. Like, I think Allen's 2 or 3 on that list.
I just think people are quick to put people ahead of Brady already. And I just don't understand. I feel like nobody else watched him because I don't think he missed a throw from the time I turned 5 to the time he retired.
Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time. There's a difference. The talent and the greatest is. I think there's a difference.
But I think people overlook Brady's talent. I think he's just like, if you go back and watch some of these throws that Brady made, they're not off platform, and he's not running around scrambling and making guys miss. But he never missed. He never missed throws. Okay. He was perfect. He was a perfect quarterback.
Yeah.
Perfect quarterback.
You love Brady. You love Brady.
What's not to love? I actually hate him too. But 7 rings, every all-time stat. He's the LeBron of. You like to do this comparison with Allen. Brady's the LeBron of football. Could have won MVP every year.
All time, yeah.
Jordan.
Right now.
He's the Jordan because Jordan's the GOAT.
No, Jordan is not the GOAT. We're not going to spread that propaganda on this show. We can't do that.
How much do you want to go into Patriots here, or do you just want to go right to your overreaction?
I got to go to my overreactions.
All right, we'll just jump right into the overreaction. Nothing else here. We'll touch Vikings, Cowboys maybe after. Sunday Night Football because we usually don't hit it. But what'd you think? Vikings, Cowboys.
I didn't watch much of it. I was footballed out. I watched Lamb Man.
All right, I watched the whole game, and I thought J.J. McCarthy looked really good after the first interception, which wasn't totally his fault. Great defensive play. But Dallas dead. Nice little run there on Thanksgiving, and they beat the Eagles and Chiefs in 5 days, and then they have now lost to the Lions, lost to the Vikings. McCarthy looked good. Dallas defense doesn't look good again.
Yeah, no, please trade the first-round picks, trade everything you need to go get Quentin Williams and Logan Wilson and all these guys. No, it's good. It's good, Jerry.
Yeah, it's just bad stuff.
We were praising him. Everybody was praising him like 2 weeks ago.
Including me. After Thanksgiving, you had to give him the nod.
Yeah.
Like, all right, you know what? You did
job.
some good stuff here.
Good job.
But the fact that they traded the Jets the 2027 pick is just disgusting to me.
Yeah.
And it's the better of the two picks they have. That's just awful stuff. Because now, what might hurt the Jets too, but now you can't trade that pick either. So you're just stuck with it being in limbo until the draft. Nobody can trade it until the end of the 2027 season. So Dallas can't even use that to get better in any capacity.
Good on the Jets. Good on the Jets there. That's huge.
Good on the Jets. One of the few good things the Jets have ever done.
JJ.
We'll look back 5 years from now and say that was a terrible thing the Jets did because they drafted no good players with those picks.
Come on.
Either way, JJ back.
JJ back.
9 went from meme to if you get called 9, you're the best quarterback in the league.
Arrived. 9 arrived last night. Finally, we saw it. Good for JJ, though. That was good. I saw a couple TikTok edits on that. That was good.
It was. And I think it's funny. Prescott loses that game. He gets 9'd all over social media.
Yeah.
All right. Overreaction time. You can kick us off.
Overreaction time. The New England Patriots are first-round exits. This is a fraud team. Listen, is this team not going to be just unbelievable, running the AFC most likely for the next 10 years? They most likely will. They'll probably win 2 Super Bowls in the next 10 years with Drake May and Mike Vrabel and getting better as they move forward here, making the roster better. But man, are they frauds this year. 21-0 on Buffalo this week at home, and you lose the football game. Completely out on this New England team. Don't think they have any chance in the postseason. And depending on who that matchup is in the first round, who would it be right now? It would be the Chargers.
It would be the Texans.
The Texans. That, Kevin, is a 2-touchdown win for the Houston Texans if they played in New England tomorrow. That's how much I love the Texans, and that's how little I think of the New England Patriots, who have played basically every team that is currently slotted for a top 10 pick, besides the Rams, who have the Falcons pick. So please, enough of the Patriot love. This team is fraudy. This team's played nobody. And I know that excuse sucks sometimes, but in this case, it seems to be true. First good team they play, they blow a 21-0 lead.
The interesting aspect of the rest of the season, I don't know who has the tiebreaker. Buffalo's probably going 3-0. New England's probably going 2-1. Sunday against Baltimore is a monster game for the Patriots to win. They have to win that game. They play Baltimore, the Jets, and Miami. Honestly, I'm not giving them a free win on Miami looking ahead at the schedule. Miami's been rolling. So I'm not giving them a pass there. Miami's got a huge game tonight to keep their playoff hopes alive. But Buffalo's probably going 3-0. Unless they lay a total egg against Cleveland next week. Who knows?
Yeah.
Could happen.
Possible.
All right. I don't disagree with your take, though. It's going to be tough for any of these AFC teams, which I laid out earlier. It's going to be tough for any of these AFC teams to get out of the first round. The first overreaction I have to go to, I already did it. Tyler Shuck's the guy. He is the guy in New Orleans. Put in all of your resources to build around this guy. And I'll even take it a step further and piss you off and your colleagues off, your coalition of Giants fans. If I was picking one quarterback from this past draft class, I'm absolutely taking Tyler Shuck. I think he's the best of the 3 guys that went in the top 40. I think that the health part with Dart, too, totally scares me off. But either way, Shuck looks that good. You roll the tape, it matches up the stat line. It even looks even better than the stat line. Kellen Moore's done an unbelievable job. The Saints could absolutely be the team next year. that makes that jump from winning 5 games to winning 10 in that awful division. Feels like they've got a quarterback here.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can't like agree with you here or disagree with you here because I'm going to get killed either way in terms of Dart.
Yeah, you're already in the doghouse with Dart.
I'm already in the doghouse with the Giant fans, so it's not like I could make it even better here. So I'm not even going to respond to that. But I'll say exactly what I said before and what I said last night. I was super impressed with what you saw from him today, to be able to get that win in a game that the Panthers needed more than anything. For him to play that way against a good defense, it was impressive.
Your next overreaction, my friend?
My next overreaction is if the Buffalo Bills do not reach the Super Bowl, they should fire Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane. Enough is enough. Change something if you're not able to get over the hump this year. It's not like you're playing Kansas City again. Kansas City's out, okay? The team that beats you every year is out. And by the way, the other team that beat you in the postseason is also out this year in Cincinnati. So it's not like you're dealing with some team that you just can't get over the hump with. It's just a mental thing. It's not anymore. They have not done a great job with this roster this year. The receivers stink. It's Allen and Cook, and that's about it. The defense has a couple of holes, but other than that, I mean, they've been fine lately.
Can we talk for a second about James Cook? Oh, sorry to cut you off. I thought you were done.
I just think that if you're not able to get to the Super Bowl in a year where the Chiefs are completely down and you have a fraud team in New England, that you might even make a comeback in your own division. And I'm not going to call the Broncos anything disrespectful. Like, they're very good and they'd be a tough game, but you should beat Denver with Josh Allen. You have the best quarterback in the world right now. You better get to a freaking Super Bowl.
Yeah, you should. And the bad guys are out of the playoffs. The guys that have beat you every year are out of the playoffs. Cincinnati, too. They've been a real cog for Buffalo. Out of the playoffs. It's you as the veteran team now leading this field. When the playoffs start, say Buffalo goes 3-0, but they don't win the division. They end up winning 13 games, though. Do they enter as the favorite?
Yeah.
I think they do.
Yeah. I think if they win next week, you're going to start to hear it, too.
They wouldn't be my favorite if the season trends this way, the rest of the way the seeding stays the same. But I'd expect them to be the betting favorite.
I think they're my favorite. I think they're my favorite right now to win.
Leads me to my next overreaction.
Yeah.
Denver should be a heavy favorite to win the AFC. After what I saw yesterday and what I've seen all season long from Denver, a team that has just rose to the occasion in 2-minute drills all year. Final 2 minutes of a half, final 2 minutes of a game, close situations. Bo Nix becomes an elite quarterback. And the problem in between exists. He has some bad games in between, but when he has to make big throws, he does it. Even against Washington, they got a lot of slack for that game going down to the wire in overtime. They made the plays that mattered. And that game should have never gotten as close as it was. They got screwed on a few calls. Mm-hmm. Either way, Colts game, they got hosed earlier in the season. Hosed. I'm all in on Denver. They play great defense. They have a great coach. They have a very good quarterback who rises to the occasion in big situations. They make the big plays. And I think situationally right now in the AFC, there is not a team on par with them in close games. There's not a team, including Buffalo, that I trust in a 1-minute spot, trailing or with a close lead to finish the job. I absolutely trust Denver at this point in the season. I think that they're probably the second best team in the entire league, a little bit ahead of Seattle and ahead of whoever you want to throw in out of those NFC teams, also right behind the Rams. Love what I've seen from the Broncos, and we've spoken about it before. Winning one-score games every week is not a bad thing, because when you get to the playoffs, you're not playing the Jets, you're not playing the Saints, you're not playing the Titans, you're not playing the Raiders. You're playing the Patriots, you're playing the Bills. You have to win a one-score game because you're not going to blow these teams out.
Different league, but when you look at what Ohio State dealt with in that Big Ten championship game, the fact that they hadn't played a close game all year long really hurt them against Indiana late in that football game. The Denver's been in these situations all year long against good teams, against bad teams. They find a way to win, so give them credit, and it helps.
Yep, absolutely. Your final overreaction.
My final overreaction is that not only is it better for the team, but it's better for the player. The Bengals should trade Joe Burrow. Enough is enough. Burrow clearly is unhappy. Burrow clearly is looking at this situation at Cincinnati saying there is no clear path for us to get better this offseason and start to really become a contender again. And for the Bengals, with the way they operate, it doesn't make sense to keep him. They should try and get a boatload of picks and try and rebuild this thing. It doesn't really ever add up for a team to trade a top 5 or 6 quarterback in the league. But I think in this situation, with the way the Bengals operate, it would probably be better for both sides if they were able to get 3 first-round picks and a couple of players for Joe Burrow. I think it would work out.
I'm just going to go right into my final overreaction because we're just simpatico today. We're locked in today on this Monday morning, Sunday recap. Now Monday afternoon. Joe Burrow in 2026. I have 3 destinations for him. He'll be playing for one of the Falcons or Buccaneers next season. Wow. 2 teams with the resources around the quarterback position to make you say, all right, I can go there and win something in a division that's very easy. Both places that I think I'd love to play in if I was Burrow coming from Cincinnati. I know he's an Ohio guy, but I'm saying, you know what, Atlanta or Tampa Bay doesn't sound too bad. Rams have an outside chance here with the 2 first-round picks. I don't know what the fate of Stafford is. It's a tough situation because of Stafford. You have to move the contract. I don't know if the Bengals are taking that contract back because I don't know if he's saying, I'll go finish my career in Cincinnati. He's already experienced bad organizations. I don't think he wants to do it again behind an offensive line that's not going to protect him at all. That's the only reason I wouldn't say the Rams are a leading favorite, because you know in an instant that if he became available and contracts didn't matter, McVay's picking up the phone. And Les Snead's picking up the phone, and they're saying we could just open another 9-year window at the quarterback position right now with Joe Burrow, put him behind a great offensive line, let him throw to receivers that might even be better than the guys he has now somehow. You might get a better group and a coach that's just a mastermind. It would do wonders for Burrow's career. He'd love to play there. I just don't know if it works with Stafford.
How many? Yeah, I mean, I think at that point you would say, okay, Matt, like if they win the Super Bowl this year, you're like, all right, let's hang it up. Let's hang it up.
And he would probably understand too, you know, but also
he was Joe Burrow. He was Joe Burrow.
He was.
That wasn't 6-7 years ago, whatever it was.
Do you want to even shake it up though if you're McVay too in that spot? Or would you rather go trade for Mendoza? If you're going to make the big quarterback move, would you rather go all in for Mendoza at the draft or draft Dante Moore, someone who comes out, and sit him behind Stafford for the rest of the time?
Well, it's less picks because you probably just have to trade your 2 firsts this year and maybe 1 more pick to go up and get them, considering where they're going to be in the draft order.
Yeah.
To go get the quarterback in the draft. It's interesting. McVay.
Because Stafford doesn't look like he's got 1 year left either. No. This is not the second to last year of Peyton Manning's career where you're like, he's starting to lose his fastball here, or Drew Brees' career. This is like, he's going to win the MVP potentially.
The fact that McVay has all these options to replace Stafford, whether it's draft or potential quarterback coming in here being traded, is scary for the rest of the league.
And also with the Burrow trade stuff, can I stop seeing Browns and Jets fans jump in on this? The guy hates playing football with the Bengals. He's going to fall in love with it with the Browns or the Jets.
Yeah, I'll throw the Giants in that conversation too.
Raiders fans too. Like, please, this is not happening.
Yeah.
Last thing on this, and then we'll wrap up the show. Do a little Monday Night Football prediction for a second. But last thing, I do think from the Cincinnati perspective, this becomes real because if he expresses a desire to leave, Mike Brown and the team's ownership, very cheap. We've talked about it a bunch of times. I think they'd be all right with saying, you know what, we're not winning anyways. We're now having trouble selling tickets. We're towards the bottom of the league in attendance. I don't want to pay this contract. Get rid of them for 5 first-round picks. They never spend this much money, and they're not winning anyways.
You go 3 or 4 picks and a player or 2. Probably looks like the Deshaun Watson trade, no? Something along those lines.
Yeah, probably. Maybe even more because he's already locked up. You're trading for the term too.
Right.
Watson, they had to give him that contract.
Yeah.
And he didn't sit a year before it because he was getting accused of sexual assault and rape.
Biggest trade in NFL history or no?
If Burrow got moved, it would definitely be up there. Yeah.
Okay.
How many prime Hall of Fame track quarterbacks have ever gotten moved? 0.
I'm just trying to think if like Daniel Jones ever got traded or no.
All right, that's a wrap. Monday Night Football pick?
Dolphins outright tonight. They were practicing shirtless in the snow on Saturday.
And every time the Dolphins do this gimmick with Mike McDaniel, they lose. So I'm going to take Pittsburgh. Tomlin's back, and he's got the quest. Yeah, no TJ Watt. He's back for a quest to 9-8. And tonight's win makes it a whole lot easier if they can get it at home. Good episode. Thanks for tuning in. We will see you next week, regular time, 7:30 next week on Sunday night, recapping week 16. Can't believe the regular season is almost wrapped up. So enjoy Monday Night Football, and we will see you at the end of the weekend.